Hola, this is your chica Sonia, and this is Real Estate Q&A with C. Sonia in under 3 minutes. In today's topic, we're going to be talking about what happens to the appraisal when buying a home, or really once the appraisal is complete. So what happens to the appraisal is basically, let me back up before I even go into the actual answer, just so you have some understanding. When you do your home inspection, you complete that, and then you're ready to move on with the property, then your lender is going to ask you for some moolah, some cha-ching, for actually sending out the appraiser out to the property. So that is a third party that goes out there. There's no relationship between the lender and the appraiser. It's completely separate. They can be in cahoots or anything like that. So the appraiser goes out, takes pictures, appraises the property, does his or her thing, and then comes back with the report. That report is pretty lengthy, and it shows comparables and other things in the report, and that is given to the home buyer, you as the home buyer. And so in there, it's going to have a value, and that value is very important because it determines whether or not you're actually paying for a home that's worth the contract price that you negotiated with the seller. So let's say, for example, that the property, you guys put the seller and the buyer, put an offer together at $100,000. But the appraisal came back and the appraisal was $110,000. Woohoo! Then you want to do a party dance and all that good stuff, because that means that you have equity in the property. You have $10,000 more of equity in the property. However, when the appraisal comes back at a lower amount, then that's when this, because you don't have equity. So now it's not really worth $100,000. It's worth only $90,000 as an example. So if it's worth $90,000, what happens at that point is that you have to discuss with your attorney to see if the seller is willing to go down to that price of $90,000, being that it's not $100,000, not worth $100,000. The other thing that you could do is, well, first of all, if you go back and the seller says, yes, okay, I'll take the 90, then you're golden. But if the seller says no, then two things can happen. Either the deal is completely canceled, or you as a home buyer can save the deal if you really want that house and pay the difference of the $10,000, right, at closing. So that way it goes back up to the $100,000 in the event that the seller says, no, I'm not going to sell it for $90,000. So that is what happens. If you have any further questions, feel free to comment below. Don't forget to subscribe, and then you can also follow me on Instagram or Facebook.